Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, we ask you to please rise. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight we have the honor of partnering with Hope College Dance Marathon. Dance Marathon is a student-led organization that raises funds and awareness for the Helen DeVos Children's Hospital throughout the year and culminates in a 24-hour dance-a-thon. This year's marathon will take place on March 8 and 9. As part of the Dance Marathon, Hope students partner with miracle families from Helen DeVos Children's Hospital who share their stories at the event. Tonight, here to sing the national anthem are two of our miracle kids. Ladies and gentlemen, to honor us with the singing of the national anthem, please welcome Libby and Ella Neifert.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Libby and Miss Ella Neifert. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the DeVos Fieldhouse here on the campus of Hope College for today's men's varsity contest between the Britons of Albion College and your Hope College Flying Dutchmen. Here are tonight's starting lineups. First for the Britons at one forward, a 6'1 senior from Flint, number 20, Jalen Fordham. And at one forward for the Flying Dutchman, a 6'5 senior from Flint, number 15, Dennis Towns. At one forward for the Britons, a 6'2 senior from West Bloomfield, number 24, Nathaniel Collins. And at one forward for the Flying Dutchman, the 6'5 senior from Fort Wayne, Indiana, number 32, Teddy Ray. Starting at center for the Britons, a 6'7 junior from Shelby Township, number 42, Caden Ebeling. And at center for the Flying Dutchman, a 6'6 sophomore from Lansing, number 51, Preston Granger. At one guard for the Britons, a 5'8 senior from Detroit, number 10, Arshawn Parker. And at one guard for the Flying Dutchman, a 5'11 sophomore from Ludington, number 23, Calvin Hackert. And at the final guard spot for the Britons, a 6'1 senior from Brighton, number 12, Dylan Bennett. And at the final guard spot for the Flying Dutchman, a 5'11 junior from Williamston, number 22, Riley Lewis. The Britons of Albion College are coached by Jody May. The Flying Dutchmen of Hope College are coached by Greg Mitchell. Your officials this evening, Mr. Chad Palmer, Mr. Danny Sapp, and Mr. Phil Mulrow.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to today's MIAA men's basketball game between the Hope College Flying Dutchmen and the Albion College Britain. Hope enters this game with a 10-7 overall record and a 3-3 mark in MIAA play. Albion is 12-5 overall, and for the first time since 2003 sits atop the MIAA. He was a co-leader with the 5-1 league record. I'm Rajon Crispin, joined alongside by the one and only Carly Van Swoll. Welcome into the booth, Carly. Glad you're here.
Yeah, thanks for having me tonight. I think tonight's going to be an interesting night. You kind of mentioned Albion up at the top with Trine tied for first, but the Dutch are in a three-way tie for second place with Calvin and Elma. So games that we need to look forward this week. This could be a huge upset for the Dutch. As we know, and maybe you not at home know, is that both Beckman brothers will be out tonight. Jason's out with a concussion, hopefully to be back within the next week, and Danny Beckman out with a sprained ankle, hopefully a similar kind of solution in the next week. We might see them both come out there. So Calvin Hackert starting the night in JB's place. So we'll see how the Dutch handle some changes due to some injuries.
And the tip is up and underway. And Hackert brings it up. The replacement for Jason Beckman. Hot handoff late. Lewis goes up and can't get it to go, but it's rebounded by Preston. Throws it out to Hackert. Hackert to Granger. And it's Lewis now, basically the anchor. Granger with it now, working inside. Spins and gets the floater to go.
Granger's really struggled in the last 5 or so games, kind of offensively and defensively. He's got his hands full with Ebeling down low, kind of one of the big leading bigs in the conference of the MIAA, so we'll see a lot from him offensively, but a nice confidence booster for Granger to get that first bucket to go.
And it's Arshawn Parker with the floater, misses everything, but it's and the field goal is good and apparent over to the back, but it's good by Caden Ebeling, the junior. That looked like an apparent over to the back, but no whistle as it's 2-2. Hackert to Lewis, to Ray, Granger to Hackert. Top of the perimeter, hands it off to Lewis. 12 seconds on the shot clock. Hands it off to Towns. Towns working one-on-one on the baseline, goes up. Can't get it, but he's fouled and will head to the charity stripe for the first free throws of the game, and the foul is on number 24, Nathaniel Collins, the senior guard from West Bloomfield.
That's something I'd like to see a lot more from the Dutch tonight, is kind of get it down low into both Granger and Towns, but specifically Towns because the Scots start 4 natural guards. Ebeling's really their only kind of main big down low is their natural big. So for Towns, it's a little bit of a mismatch down low. So for him to be able to draw fouls, get himself to the free throw line, or finish one-on-one, that could be a huge offensive opportunity for the Dutch.
Towns to shoot the second of 2. It is up and good. So Hope with the 4-2 lead. And it is Arshawn Parker, the senior from Detroit, brings it across the timeline. Parker working on Hackert. All swings outside. And it's Parker working on Hackert. And the foul is going to be on Hackert. He'll pick up his first, team's first. So the Britons will inbound. And will be the senior Dylan Bennett from Brighton, the 6'1 guard. Inbounds to Parker. Parker working on Hackert. Parker drives up off the glass, can't get it to go. Rebound attempt by Ebeling is no good. And corralled by the Dutch.
If you're the Dutch, you got to know where Ebeling is at all times. Once the shot goes up, you got to box him out.
And Lewis to Ray. Ray back to Lewis. And Lewis is checked. And picking up the foul is number 20, Jalen Fordham, the senior guard from Flint. Take a look at the replay here. Nice job by Lewis drawing some contact. So if you're this Dutch team, not in first place right now, Albion at first place, this is a chance to make a statement in front of your home crowd. It's important to get out early.
Right, Exactly. And plays like that are not the type of plays that you need to be making or should be making. It's those kind of little mistakes, and that kind of comes from not having your main playmaker, Jason Beckman, out on the court. It's going to take some time to get used to having someone else run the offense.
When you speak about Jason, his brother Danny was catching fire as of late. Caught a high ankle sprain, and hopefully he'll be back soon. 17:30 remaining in the first half. Ebling down low, gets it to go, working on Granger, and we're tied at 4.
That's a great cut made by Ebling. You noticed that Granger's head was kind of focused on where the ball was, not really where he was. So he made that cut, got open, and Granger just wasn't in good position.
That's a high basketball IQ by Ebling. And it's Ray with it now to Hackert. Hackert trying to go inside, kicks to Towns, top of the key. Towns stops, fires, can't get it to go, and it's rebounded by the Dutch, and it's Parker to bring it across the timeline. Fordham with it now. And he goes Parker, top of the perimeter. Parker goes corner. Stop and pop is no good from Nathaniel Collins. And it's Lewis with the rebound. Lewis crosses the timeline. Low scoring affair so far.
Both teams obviously struggling to get things going offensively.
And it's Ray back to Lewis. Lewis tries to go inside with Towns, but it's tipped and intercepted by this Britain team. Parker with it now, working on Hackert, a matchup to watch all evening long. Fordham thinks about it, drives, goes inside to Ebling. Ball is knocked around, and it's corralled by Hackert. And a good defensive stop there. Ray goes down to Towns. Towns lays off the glass for 2. 6-4, the Dutch lead. 15:30 remaining in the first half.
Rajon, I think we've talked about a couple of times throughout their kind of whole season how transition offense is not really a part of their repertoire for this Dutch team, and right there, Towns running the floor, getting down before any of the other Scots really opened things up for them offensively, and to see that a little bit more in this game, I think might help not having their natural point guard in to set things up on a set offense.
And it's Lewis with it on top of the anchor, hands it off to Hackert. Hackert kicks out. Lewis. Ray from 3. Yes! Teddy Ray for 3, and it's 9-4. Hopefully he gets going early, and Jeff Gorel getting ready to check into the game.
He's another one offensively that the Dutch are going to hope that he stays hot from outside the arc.
And it's Fordham working inside on Ray, can't get it to go. Granger with a great box out and inside position, corrals the rebound, and the Dutch are off to the races. Hackert for 3, and he gets it to go! 12-4, Calvin Hackert. And we'll get an Albion timeout. It's a 30-second timeout, so we'll keep it right here. This raucous crowd at Voss Fieldhouse loving the early show. 12-4. Carly, what has been the keys to success for this Dutch team? My goodness.
I gotta admit, I was a little concerned confidence-wise what was gonna happen without, we talked about the Beckmans a lot, what was gonna happen without them tonight going against one of the teams that's tied for first place, but coming out, I think sometimes it helps being the underdog. Like, nothing left to lose, you might as well just go out, give everything you got, and I think players given some confidence. That first bucket by Towns, I think by Granger, really pumped him up offensively, and I think since then they've just kind of ridden with the wave. Ebling's been quiet down low, offensive on the boards. He's done a pretty good job. Granger in the last couple possessions has done a better job with boxing him out. But it'll be interesting to see how the Dutch respond, because with a team as good as the Scots are, they're not going to stay in a slump or kind of a slow offensive state for much longer. It's bound to happen where they find a rhythm, and we'll see how the Dutch respond to that.
And Carly, we've talked about before that Hope is one of these teams that plays up or down to whoever they're playing. And right now, high-profile game, student section and showing up this evening, which is great in a full crowd. I think they're playing up to who they can be, and I really think they're capable of playing at this consistent level all season long, and they're up 12-4 right now.
It's been a roller coaster of a season.
It has.
I don't think there's any better way to describe it other than the roller coaster.
And the errant pass slips out of bounds, much to the appreciation of the Duke crew. Great to have them out in full force this evening. Hackett directing traffic and will cross the timeline. 14 minutes and change remaining in the first half. Lewis to Ray. Ray goes inside to Towns. Towns working one-on-one, kicks outside to Hackett. Hackett with the quick move, stops, thinks about it, decides to shoot. Rebounded by Ray. Ray with the floater. He can't get it to go. Ball pinballs around, and we'll get a whistle.
I think that's going to be on Goral again.
And it is on Jeff Goral. So Albion has not scored since the first 2 minutes of the game. Really testament to this Hope defense as of late. Ball goes on the perimeter now. It's Dylan Bennett. And we'll get a whistle. And it's on Goral, so he comes in and picks up a quick 2 in foul trouble already.
That's his third foul already.
Jake Honer comes in, the defensive specialist, as does Granger, comes in for Towns.
I'm intrigued by that substitution by Granger because I would have assumed that you give Granger enough of a break as long as Ebling is out, and I think as a coach that's what I would say, but Coach Mitch obviously knows way more than I would, so it'll be interesting to see how that plays out.
And a 3-second violation. Oh, it's going to be a foul call, excuse me, on number 20. Jalen Fordham, the senior guard from Flint. And coming into the game for the Britons is number 24, Nathaniel Collins. Hackett will bring it across the timeline. It's a 12-4 Hope lead. Lewis has it now, off to Ray. Ray to Honer. Honer tries to go inside. And it's Ray with it now, top of the perimeter, look for somewhere to go. Hackett has it, base of the anchor. Working on Winston. Ray from downtown. Fouled, and he can't get it to go. But it'll head to the charity stripe for 3.
Good shot attempt from Ray. Great job to kind of keep his position. It looked like he had decent balance in the air to draw that foul. Just didn't get the shooter's roll.
I think it's a good job of being aware of where the defender was in space and drawing the foul as well. A cerebral play by the senior. First free throw is up and good. 13-4 the Hope lead.
And the Dutch is 76% free throw shooting team as a whole, so definitely an area for them to thrive is at the charity stripe.
And the second free throw is good coming to the game for the Britons. It's Jawan Perry, the sophomore guard from Gurney, Illinois. And the final shot is up and good. 15-4 the Hope lead. And it's Winston to bring it across the timeline and is working on Hackett. Winston has it, trying to find somewhere to go, drives, creates space, goes inside, and the bucket is up and good from Quinton Armstrong, the sophomore forward, 6'5" forward from Lansing.
Good move from Armstrong, and great vision to see that Granger didn't even have his hands up in the air, so that's a great shot to just go over the top and get that lob shot.
And Armstrong is only a sophomore, so plenty of things ahead in his bright future. And Teddy Ray gets a 3 to go. He has 9 on the afternoon, 50% of his team's points. 18-6, the Hope lead. Collins with it. And the three-point attempt is up and good from MJ Barnes, the freshman guard from Rowlett, Texas. Answers with the 3 of his own.
It's a really great job of being ready and catching and shooting, not hesitating.
And it's Perry who brings it across. Goes inside to Armstrong. With that big frame, goes up and gets an easy bucket. He's been really the source of their offense as of late. It's Hackett with it now.
This is going to be the time period that's going to show how the Dutch are going to respond when the Scots have gone on their kind of offensive run to see if they can respond.
And it's Lewis with it now. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Granger to Hackert. Hackert thinks about pulling up, tries to go inside. Errant pass, and it's picked off by the Britons. Not exactly sure what he saw there. Pass goes wide. Three-point attempt is no good. And it's tipped around and corralled by the Dutch. And Lewis finally corrals it. And Coach Mitchell wants a timeout. It'll be a 30-second timeout, so we'll keep it right here. 18-11, the Hope lead.
I like that timeout by Coach Mitch. A couple players, specifically Preston Granger, looking kind of gassed after the couple fast break offensive plays that the Scots have had, but I think offensively they're kind of getting in their motion a little bit, getting in their groove. Some players are stepping up, making some big shots. As you said, Armstrong down low has been a difference maker. So we'll see if they can kind of keep up that offensive cohesiveness.
So 18-11, the Hope lead, 11 minutes and change remaining in the first half. And fans, as always, make sure to download the free Hope Athletics Front Row mobile app. Get all the updates, statistics, and game recaps on your phone from the new free Hope Athletics Front Row mobile app. Sign up for any sports you want to follow, including basketball, volleyball, football. You set the preferences. Search Hope Athletics on the App Store, Google Play, and learn more at hopeathletics.edu/front row. Take you back to action inside DeVos Fieldhouse. Capacity crowd on hand on a chilly Wednesday evening. I think it was single digits this afternoon.
Yeah, it was a little bit chilly.
Made walking to class a blast. And Granger now drives, and there's a foul call. And it is on number 44, Quentin Armstrong, the sophomore. And it's his first, team's fifth.
Now Ebling's coming back into the game, and Granger visibly very tired, so we'll see how he handles that as Ebling's coming in after a lengthy break on the bench.
And into the game for the Dutch is number 24, Tyler George, who blows up. Speak of George, and he gets it to go. The freshman guard who got pulled up from JV earlier this week with the injuries to both Beckmans, making his presence felt right away.
Yeah, George was someone in their game on Saturday. He had 12 points, tied with Teddy Ray as the leading scorer. So when they're struggling offensively, he was kind of one of the ones to step up.
And Ebling down low kind of goes up like a tight end. That's going to be a foul call, much to the dismay of the Duke crew. And the foul is on Jake Honer, his first, team's fifth. See the replay there. Playing for the ball, but he got called for the foul. Sometimes just the luck of the draw. So the Britons will inbound right side. And Perry takes a couple of unsolicited steps and we'll head the other way. 10-16 remaining in the first half.
The Dutch gain a lot of confidence when they're doing well defensively. When they make some defensive stops, I think it gives them internally, feels like they have a little bit more of a buffer room offensively.
And George with it now to Honer. Honer to Teddy Ray. To Granger, top of the perimeter, finds Lewis. Lewis being double teamed, kicks it out to Ray. Ray for three. He can't get it to go. It's rebounded by Ebling. And it's Arshawn Parker with it now. Puts a little move on George. Pop and shot. Kind of an awkward shot. Lost control of the ball as he went up. And it is Riley Lewis with it now. Basically, anchor swings to George. George tries to go inside to Granger. And a foul will be on Ebling. Coming to the game for the Dutch, it's Calvin Hackert and Dennis Towns. So 9:30 remaining in the first half. Hope on top, 20-11 after a quick start. Haven't scored much as of late. Hacker to inbound, right side. Hackert finds George. George puts the ball on the floor, swings out to Hackert. And as Dietz goes down to Towns. Towns working down low. Goes inside, scramble for the ball. It's picked up by the Britons. Ball goes topside. It's Parker with it now. Working on George. Perry with it. Ball goes back to Parker. And an offensive foul on Eblin. Tried to do a little acting and draw the foul. Couldn't convince the officials. That's an offensive foul. A little bit of acting there. Be nominated for an Academy Award anytime soon. And Dennis Towns to inbound to Hackert. Just under 9 minutes remaining in the first half. Hackert on the base of the anchor. Finds Dietz. To Honer. Back to Hackert. George from three. He can't get it to go. And it's rebounded by Armstrong.
The Dutch throughout this entire season have kind of struggled on the offensive boards, getting those second chance opportunities, and it's really hurt them offensively and in a lot of games where they really missed out on having those second chance opportunities.
3-point attempt rims in and out for Dylan Bennett, the senior, and Hackett brings it across the timeline. Bit of a scoring job for both teams as of late. Honer trying to go somewhere, finds Towns. Finds Hackett, top of the anchor, looking for somewhere to go. Honer with it, tries to drive inside, and he's fouled and tripped up by number 22, Juwan Perry. He can't believe the call. And the Britons in the bonus with just about 8 minutes remaining in the first half. So key for this Dutch team if they can draw some contact and get a free trip to the charity stripe. Honer at the line. First shot is up and good.
Doesn't give you a lot of points and rebounds, but he's a good defender.
And the second shot is also up and good. Coming to the game, it's Teddy Ray. 22-11, 8 minutes and change remaining. And it's Parker to bring it up and across the timeline. Parker drives, kicks outside to Perry. Perry puts a move on Hackert, spins, stripped, but Hackert's going to get called for a foul. He doesn't agree. And that's going to be his second.
And Hackert defensively, he's got good positioning. There's no need to reach in there. Just keep your hands straight. That's a tough shot to make regardless. So defensively, just stay sound, and the odds are on your side that shot's not going to go in if you play that good of defense.
The shot bounces around, but takes a Britain bounce and finds the bottom of the net. First shot is good. It's 22-12. Lewis checks back into the game. Perry's second shot is up and good. Back into the game for the Britons. It's number 24, Nathaniel Collins.
Collins back in, Perry out, 22-14. Hope up by 9. Their biggest lead was 12.
And it's Lewis with it now. Lewis crosses the timeline, 22-13. Lewis kicks out to Ray. Ray back to Lewis. Lewis pulls up. He can't get it to go, and it's rebounded by Dylan Bennett. Parker kicks into high gear. Awkward shot off the glass, no good. And Lewis pushes the ball. It's George with it now. Back to Lewis. And Dietz puts a little move on. Awkward up with the right hand, draws the contact, and gets it to go. Jason Dietz.
That's exactly what Coach Mitch wants. You saw Tyler George come in, make a big layup, and now Dietz coming at it, getting himself to the line, getting the and one. And we've talked about kind of this whole season how they haven't really found a solid rotation. And I think almost with having both Beckmans out of the game, it's a horrible thing for this Dutch team. But a lot of guys are getting some opportunities to step up, and it looks like a lot of different guys are kind of stepping into that opportunity with a lot more confidence. So hopefully when the Beckmans are back, this team is even stronger than they were beforehand, because a lot of these guys are getting some good minutes.
Yeah, Carly, it's definitely that next man up mentality.
Right.
25-13, 7 minutes remaining. Lewis brings the ball back out, finds George. George goes inside to Towns. And it's Ray, can't get the floater to go. Rims around and is rebounded by Armstrong. Parker with it now. Back to Armstrong to Bennett. Bennett to Winston. Winston drives, stops, kicks outside to Parker. Parker puts the ball on the ground, goes inside, and the basket is up and good for Quentin Armstrong, who gets the and one.
Armstrong now with 6 points, someone I think we kind of underrated in this game that didn't really expect a whole lot of. I mean, we talked about and heard that Ebling would be kind of the story of the night, so it's awesome to see Armstrong come out and make the biggest difference offensively and defensively on this team.
Armstrong on the line. Can't get it to go, much to the delight of the Duke crew and the home crowd. Rebounded by Granger. Outlet pass to Lewis, and he brings it across the timeline. Dietz with it now. Goes to Ray. Ray to Dietz. And it's George with it now. Lewis, 5 seconds on the shot clock. Lewis tries to split the defenders. Ball goes out of bounds. It'll belong to the Dutch, but only 1 second on the shot clock. Quick catch and shoot coming here. Take a look at the replay here. Tried to split the defenders. Ball knocked around.
I think it's going to be a double screen for Lewis.
Carly's going with the double screen. We shall see. Quick passes up and good. Can't get it to go. And Granger will pick up the unnecessary foul. Tried to go over the top, and not exactly a cerebral play there.
That's the 8th foul on the Dutch with 6 minutes to go. That's just a foul you don't need to make in that moment. You know, I'm a big proponent that you should never foul 95 feet away from the basket. It doesn't ever do you any good.
Great coaching advice from the one and only.
Put me
Needs
on the
no
coaching
introduction.
staff.
Carly Mansell. And it's Armstrong on the charity stripe. And it's no good. Maybe the Duke crew's inside his head this evening. He's missed the last 3. It's Lewis with it to Dietz. Owner base of the anchor trying to find somewhere to go. 15 seconds on the shot clock. It's Lewis now working on Collins. Lewis goes left, out to Ray. 10 seconds on the shot clock. It's Ray down to Towns. Towns trying to find somewhere to go. 4 seconds. Spins. Gets it to go. Dennis Towns, a little premature call there, but it didn't matter because he got to go. 27-15. Definitely the response you want if you're Coach Mitchell from this team.
The Dutch with the 12-point lead, but whenever one of them gets the ball, it doesn't look like they're making a threat offensively. Armstrong doing a great job down low again, but no one seems like they want the ball or want to do anything with it. It's when it comes down to under the 10-second mark, they all start to panic, like someone needs to do something, and if they're the ones with the ball, they just kind of think it's up to them. But no one's making a threat when they first catch the ball.
And Honer's tripped up. And Parker pushes the floor. Collins for 3. He gets it to go. And Coach Mitchell will call a timeout.
I think it's going to be a 30-second timeout.
It's going to be 30-second as you call. And we'll keep it right here. Fans, make sure to stay tuned at halftime for a very special presentation. The men's and women's soccer teams will present a check to Purple Community to the Van Andel Institute Chairman and CEO David Van Andel, Hope College class of 1983, and Carol Van Andel, Hope College class of 1981. The money was raised during the soccer team's Purple Community doubleheader last fall at Van Andel Soccer Stadium. Special presentation you won't want to miss.
And Birjan, I got to give a special shout out to Cole Hackert, who is listening in Ludington, watching his cousin Calvin Hackert play right now. Love the support from the fam, and Braden Carl is also watching.
Special shout out to the one and only Jim Crispin, listening from Wheaton, Illinois.
Gotta love the Reds.
Also happens to be my father, the one and only Jim Crispin. And now take it back to play. Dietz with it on the perimeter. I'm going to get a text message from that sometime or later. And it's Towns with the floater. He gets it to go. It's Dennis Towns. 29-20, big bucket there. Albion is starting to creep back into this lead. It's Parker with it now. Collins to Winston. Shot is blocked, and an invitation to the block party sent out by Teddy Ray. Shot is up and good, counted and a foul. That's number 11, the freshman guard, Nate Davis. My goodness.
And every guy that's coming off the bench, Tyler George, Nate Davis, Dietz, making some big plays initially. That's exactly what you want to see from Coach Mitch, is just these plays that you haven't seen from them, or even that confidence that you've seen from them all season, to make such a difference in such a big game and such a huge week where you got some players injured and kind of concerned coming into this game. You got to love to see that.
Yeah, this could really be a springboard as we head down to the rest of divisional play. Some big matchups, including Trine and Calvin, the latest edition of the rivalry. The errant pass heads into the scorer's table, and it'll be Hope basketball. 3:57 remaining in the first half, and Jawan Perry checks back into the game for this Britain team. And Lewis brings it across the timeline. Davis to Dietz, to Lewis. Towns with it. Little handoff back to Lewis. Lewis finds Dietz in the corner. Dietz pulls up. He can't get it to go, and it's rebounded by Collins. 32-20, the 12-point Dutchman lead. It's Collins with it now. Over to Perry. Armstrong working on Towns. Spin move. Misses everything. Collins with it. Top of the key, decides to pull up for three, and he gets it to go as the shot clock was running down.
Shot made by Collins, contested, hand in the face, but not phased.
Lewis with it now. It's a 9-point game. Teddy Ray drives inside, kicks out to Dietz, and it's intercepted. 4-pass there. And it's Winston now who brings it across the timeline, looking to go to work. 32-23. Collins with it, on top of the perimeter. To Perry working on Lewis. Perry drives, takes a couple extra steps, and he travels. Can't do that in any age of basketball.
You might get away with it, like, little kids basketball, but.
Well, I didn't. I'd love to talk to the league director. And coming into the game for the Dutch, it's number 10, Matt Zanstra, this junior guard from Sherville, Indiana, Ileana Christian High School. Lewis brings it across. 2:30 remaining in the first half. It's Zanstra to Lewis. Lewis up off the glass, a foul, and it's good. It's Riley Lewis.
And Lewis was quiet in their last game against Olivet, held to under 10 points, which is uncharacteristic for him. And tonight, quiet offensively, but kind of has been a main offensive threat for this team, along with Beckman. Usually gets 20-plus points. So we'll see if he can continue this. One of the best free throw shooters in the nation in D3.
And the shot is up and good. He completes the three-point play the hard way. And coming into the game for the Braves, it's number 4, MJ Barnes, the freshman guard. 35-23.
Your update on the Hope women's game. The Dutch are up 33-22 against Albion.
The Dutch team remaining on top of the MIAA. And Armstrong goes up with a strong move and gets it to go. Lewis brings it across. Under 2 minutes remaining. finds Ray. Lewis with it now, gets a screen from Towns. Lewis, and he can't get it to go. And it's Barnes. Can't get it to go. Strong rebound from Dennis Towns. Lewis to Davis. Davis loses the ball in transition. We talked about our offensive transition not being one of our strong suits, and you saw it there. A young player too. And Winston pulls up from three. He can't get it to go, and it's Towns with the rebound.
Smart choice by Lewis to slow things up. Both teams not having good and smart shot selection.
Zanstra with it now. 1 minute remaining. Lewis gets a screen from Ray, puts the ball on the ground, and pulls it back out. 5 seconds on the shot clock. Lays it up off the glass, and he gets it to go. Riley Lewis catching fire as of late. He has 5. 40 seconds remaining. This Dutch crowd hoping for a defensive stand here. 15 seconds on the shot clock. Armstrong working down low, kicks it out. It's Perry with it now. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Perry tries to go behind the legs, and it's stripped and picked. Nate Davis with the left hand, and he gets it to go. 39-25. Listen to this crowd.
Towns making a point guard entry pass right there. Great job of leading Davis.
And the little runner is up and good. And that'll bring us to the end of the first half. Hope with an impressive 39-27 lead. I'm Rajon Crisp alongside Carly Vance Wool. Stay tuned for a special halftime presentation. Thank you, and we'll be back.
You know, when you're more than a manager, you're not just saying, wow, you came in, thanks for coming in, and you know, this is what your investment did. It's so much more than that. There's so much more going on in their lives than just these investments, and it's good to understand that totality so that you can say, well, you know, I know there's a better way of doing this, or I have a resource. I know, you know, there's some other resources that we can help you with here. So it's not just financial planning, it's serving people. It's serving people and loving on people, and that's very joyful.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time we ask you to please your attention to the main court. Ladies and gentlemen, each year Hope College is proud to team up with Purple Community to raise money for and awareness of the Van Andel Institute in Grand Rapids. Purple Community is the grassroots community awareness and fundraising program with Van Andel Institute that connects individuals, schools, teams, and businesses to the resources needed to join the fight against cancer and other diseases. This fall, Hope College held a Purple Community women's and men's soccer doubleheader on September 15 at Van Andel Soccer Stadium. Not only did the Flying Dutch and Flying Dutchman execute 2 exciting victories on the field, they helped deliver another win for Purple Community. The proceeds from this event will help fund life-saving research as well as a summer internship for a Hope College student to perform research in a Van Andel Institute laboratory. Tonight, we would like to introduce you to the next Hope College intern at Van Andel Institute, a senior biology major, Skylar Brunick, and her mentor, Dr. Bart Williams. Skylar will spend the summer working in the Williams Lab on projects related to understanding how alterations in a group of genes contribute to osteoporosis when they are turned off inappropriately and to cancer when they are turned on incorrectly. At this time, Megan Bigelow, Sarah Mikesell, Brindley Neuenice, Audrey White, Sam Albritton, Dalton Russo, and Dominic Byrne, members of the women's and men's soccer teams, are presenting a check to Purple Community for $6,571.25 to Van Andel Institute Chairman and CEO David Van Andel, Hope College Class of 1983, and Carol Van Andel, Hope College Class of 1981. And now, ladies and gentlemen, a few words from our president, Reverend Dr. Dennis Voskuhl.
Hope College has participated in the Community Purple Games since 2010, with a number of our sports teams participating. And we are very glad to do this because we support the mission of the Van Andel Institute. So we are very pleased that we can support the research and the researchers and all those who are doing wondrous things to find cures and treatments for cancer, for Parkinson's disease and other diseases. And we're also thankful that during the summer, Skylar, like other Hope students before, will be an intern with Dr. Williams. So now I'd like to introduce Carol and Dave Van Andel. Dave is the CEO of the Van Andel Institute. Dave?
Thank you, Dennis. First of all, let me say a big thank you to all of you, the Greater Hope community, for supporting your teams the way that you do. A special thanks to the men's and women's soccer team here tonight. Having the Purple Games, other than tonight, purple's a good color, but having the Purple Games is a very important thing. I'd like to introduce to you also, who is wearing purple, one of our scientists, one of our lead scientists, Dr. Bart Williams. Bart is heading the laboratory that Skylar's going to be interning in. And so now you can see a very physical connection to the best and the brightest from the Van Andel Institute, taking the best and the brightest from the Hope community. We really appreciate the fact that we've been able to have this relationship for so many years with Hope College. Obviously, Carol and my hearts are with Hope College always, but to be able to train the next generation of scientists is a very important thing. Breakthroughs happening every day, major announcements happening every day at the Institute, and we're thrilled to have you to become part of the Van Andel Institute community as well. Thank you again, and thank you, Dennis, for your kind words as well.
We're trying to get rid of that one. Great. Thanks.
Dancing on the line of danger.
College. Number 5, Zachary Winston. Number 22, Juwan Perry, both with 2 points. Number 4, MJ Barnes with 3 points. Number 42, Kate with 4 points. Number 24, Nathaniel.
ladies and gentlemen, welcome back inside the Voss Fieldhouse. Brajan Crispin here alongside you with the one and only Zach Tice. Zach, thanks for being here.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I'm glad to be here.
So, Zach, you're a sophomore from Lansing, Michigan, the one and only. So I hail from Wheaton, Illinois. Lansing, Michigan. Are you a Spartans fan?
I am a big Spartans fan.
Whew, man, so I'm a Northwestern fan, diehard. Go Cats, by the way. Beat you guys 3 times in the past year. So for those of you who don't know, Zach Tice is going to be joining us next year in the broadcast booth. So this is just an opportunity for you guys back at home to get to meet the one and only Zach Tice. Now, Zach, if you had to pick a favorite sport, what would that be?
My favorite sport is basketball. One of the reasons why I love basketball is because it's so entertaining here. This atmosphere is fantastic, and it's always fun to watch Hope College men's basketball play.
It truly is. This truly is one-of-a-kind experience. Now, based off of what you saw from the first half, Hope came in. They weren't really expected to win this one. Albion came on top. You know, in the standings so far, they're tied for first. First time they've been there since 2003. And you have Hope come in here, and they're up 39-27. What do you think have been some of the keys for this Hope team so far?
Some of the keys so far is shutting down the interior. This is very important because Albion's main offense is their 2 big men, and Hope shut those guys down. It's actually having 27 points is actually the lowest amount so far Hope has given up this season, which is very impressive against the #1 overall team in the conference.
Yeah, absolutely. We were surprised when Danny Beckman went down too with injury. Danny and Jason Beckman are down, their top 2 scorers. But now we have guys stepping up, freshmen stepping up that were called up to the varsity squad just this week actually, and are getting reps. So it's great for this program, just the next man up mentality. Now they're up 39-27 right now. What do you think are going to be keys for them to stay ahead and kind of keep the foot on the gas in the second half?
I think some keys are continuing stopping the big men of Albion and continuing the way that Hope is continuing to play. They are getting everyone's getting a chance to play, and everyone's playing extremely well, even the new guys.
Absolutely. So you heard it here first. The one and only Zach Tice, thanks for being here. Going to be joining us next year in the broadcast booth. Brajan Crispin alongside with Carly Van Swol on the other side of the break. Thank you. We'll be right back.
At Lawrence and Vanderswart, we're interested in the history of our community. When 26-year-old jeweler Jacob Raven came to Holland in 1889, the northwest corner of 8th Street and River Avenue was already home to the thriving Holland City State Bank. Raven told bank personnel that he wanted to build a clock above the bank to keep the town on time, and it wouldn't cost them a cent. True to his word, Raven raised the funds with donations from merchants and local factories. High above the city streets, the tower was completed in 1892. Holland's clock tower still ticks high above 8th Street, watching over a town that still loves to run on time. Innovation and ambition today can pay dividends for decades. Lawrence and Vanderswart, interested in our history, invested in our future.
Welcome back inside DeVos Fieldhouse. Brajan Crispin alongside Carly Vanswell. 39-27 Hope lead. Onto the floor for the Dutch. It will be Granger, Lewis, Hackert, Ray, and Towns, the original starting 5. And Carly, now we're on the other side of the break. What do you think would be keys to the second half for this Albion team?
Well, I think now that Ebling's back in, he's got 2 fouls, but you got to feed it to him down low. Offensively, he's used to getting double-digit points and double-digit rebounds. So if you really want to work things offensively, get it down low. If Hope double teams, you kick it out. Obviously, you're capable of making the 3-point shot. So I think working it in and out is going to be a huge key offensively for them.
And Ebling goes up with the left hand and gets it to go. That fires up. Coach Jody May in his 11th season at the helm, finally seeing some success with his program, sitting tied for first along the MIAA conference, and Granger gets it to go. 41-29.
Good vision there by Teddy Ray.
Granger and Ebling going back and forth. And it will be on Granger, fighting for position down low. So Gary to inbound. Take a look at the replay here. A little jostling for position. Drew some contact. And good defensive play by Granger. Lewis brings it back out. And it's Hackett with it now to Ray. Ray goes inside to Towns, has some room to work. Goes inside to Granger. Granger work on Ebling. Up with the left hand. Can't get it to go. And it's rebounded by the Brits.
Granger can't get discouraged by that. Good positioning, good shot, better defense from Ebling. But if they keep giving it down low to him, refs are calling some fouls, so things could get interesting down low for both teams.
So Lewis brings it across the timeline. And Granger with it now on top of the perimeter. Towns with it now. Towns working inside, kicks out to Hackett. Hackett thought about it, tries to drive inside. Towns off the elbow, can't get it to go, and it's rebounded by our Sean Parker. Ebling downside, working on Granger. Can't get it to go. I just invented a word there with downside. The way that I was using it. You learn something new every day. And the ball goes out of bounds into the cheerleading crew.
It's a dangerous pass made if you're Lewis in the lane. Lots of bodies there. If you want to make a pass, you got to make a bounce pass. But even then, I think that's a risky pass in general.
And Ray inbounds to Towns. Hackert working on Parker, kicks it out to Ray, who then dumps it off to Lewis. Lewis working on Collins. Pass skips out of bounds into the first row. And it'll be Britton ball. And we'll get an early timeout from Coach Mitchell. It'll be a 30-second timeout. So we'll keep it right here.
Gotta love to see Jason Beckman, the first one off the bench, high-fiving his teammates.
Today's fun fact of the game brought to you by Lawrence of Annisworth, financial planning done right. Dan Scheinbarger still holds the Hope College Flying Dutchman single game scoring record with 51 points during a 125-104 victory against Albion College on February 21st, 1970. I was 2 years old. For those of you wondering at home how I still have a job, I was not 2 years old in 1970. But interesting that record still holds. You've had players come close. Beckman came close earlier this year with 41, I believe. So
and last year, I think he had 45.
The record still holds. Packed crowd here this evening. Coming up on Saturday, Hope College hosts Trine University in a highly anticipated matchup.
Your Hope Flying Dutch are up 41-25 on the Albion Scots with about 6:45 left to go in the third quarter. And in other MIAA action, Olivet men's are up 44-34 against Calvin. Albion Britons. I'm mixing up my A schools, Albion, Adrian, and Alma. For how long I've been doing this, you'd think I would have that straight by now.
Happens to the best of us. The one and only Carly Van Slow, everybody. Granger tries to contest the pass. It's corralled by Collins, who gets it to go, or can't get it to go, excuse me. And it's Arshawn Parker. Awkward shot, can't get it to go. It's rebounded by Lewis, who pushes the floor. Lewis to Ray. Ray to Hacker will take things back out. He goes inside to Granger. Granger to Ray. Ray back to Granger, working inside on Ebling. Spins, goes up, and he gets it to go. Preston Granger.
That's a huge move from Granger to draw the and one. That's Ebling's third foul. That's a huge difference maker right there.
You saw the replay of getting good a position inside and being cerebral enough to wait for the defender to come down on top of him and draw the foul.
Granger about 68% from the line.
Granger gets it to go and completes the three-point play the hard way. 44-32, it's a 12-point Dutchman lead. 16 minutes and change remaining in the second half. It's Arshawn Parker with it now. Working on Hacker. Bounce pass inside, gets deflected. Going back to your theory about bounce.
They called that a foul on Ray.
And the refs in the stands not happy with the call. I don't understand it myself.
Sorry to cut you off on that, Rajon.
No, it's all good. So, Rashawn Parker to inbound. And the left hand off the glass shot is good for Jalen Fordham, the senior guard from Flint.
That's a senior move right there from Fordham. I mean, getting it high off the glass with that left hand, that's a tough shot to make.
10-point lead now for the Dutch. Lewis, high up off the glass, gets the runner to go. 46-34. A nice little answer there.
That's a play that I don't know if we've seen before from the Dutch. I kind of like it. Granger up top, Lewis coming in charging. Kind of a different pace than we usually see from this Dutch offense.
Jump stop, Fordham. Shot goes anywhere but the basket, and Granger with the rebound. Hacker goes down low to Towns. Towns waits, goes up, foul, then he'll head to the charity stripe. For me, if I'm Towns, and I'm probably going to take words out of your mouth.
Nope, you got it.
But you don't need to dribble the ball. Just go up with it right away.
There's that hesitation that was just unnecessary. I think he expected there to be a lot more contact than there was. He was lucky that he drew the foul in the first place, but when you catch, you just got to go right up and shoot that.
Scoring stretch in his 2-year.
Since the first of two into the game, it's Armstrong, and coming to the game for the Dutch, it's number 3, Jason Dietz, the freshman guard from Troy. And Granger comes out of the game to the applause of the crowd here at DeVos. And the second shot is up and good, nothing but net. And Arshawn Parker brings it across the timeline. Hits 48-34, 15 minutes and change remaining. Armstrong finds Parker off the roll. Parker pulls a little James Harden step back travel, does not get called. Towns all over. Armstrong on defense, 5 seconds on the shot clock. Armstrong spins off with the right hand, can't get it to go. Rebound by Teddy Ray, a great defensive set there from Towns. Ray with it now. Down to Dietz. Dietz goes behind the back. And it's Lewis with it now on top of the perimeter. Dietz with it, trying to go inside, has to force it back out. Lewis directing traffic. Under 10 seconds on the shot clock. Lewis working. Pulls up from 3. Quick release, nothing but net. That's Riley Lewis. The net didn't even move.
He's got 10 points.
he's one of those players where he only has 10 points on the stat sheet, but he does so much more that's vital to this
Such
team.
a facilitator.
And Collins tries to answer, and he can't get it to go. That's going to be a foul on Dennis Towns, who went over the back. He doesn't agree with the call.
Good box up by.
Take a look at the replay here. Could have gone both ways, but he got the short end of the stick there. And coming to the game for the Britons, it's MJ Barnes.
You know what I'm going to say, Brajan? Just would have boxed out. The call would have gone your way. Would have been an easy call.
Got Coach Van Swole over here. Doing a great job, as always, the best in the business. And Hacker gets called for the hand check.
That's going to
Coach
be his third
Mitchell
foul.
not happy with the call. It's just one of those, and correct me if I'm wrong because you're the coach over here, but
Whatever.
the player drives into the lane. It's just about getting your feet in a position instead of just reaching out with an arm. I think it's just a lazy foul right there.
I agree.
But I could be wrong.
No, I would have definitely agreed with you on that one, Coach Crispin.
Coached one time, 16-4 record. Shout out to my players back home. And Fordham can't get the shot to go, goes out of bounds, and will stay with the Britons. 14-15 remaining in the second half.
And you got two guys down there, both Ray and Towns, going through your hands. You got to grab it. The round thing is the most important thing on the court right now. You can't let that just go.
One of the most inspirational statements I have heard
Very
in
deep
ages.
and profound, let me tell you.
Take care of the basketball. Or some call it the round thing.
The round thing.
Teddy rated Dietz. Tyler George back into the game, the freshman. It's Lewis with it now, working on Collins. Lewis goes left, kicks out to Dietz. He fumbles the ball, but he'll get fouled, and it's not Jake Collins, excuse me, that's a punter from Northwestern. It is Nathaniel Collins.
Albion fouls number 4, MJ Barnes. His first team's here's the lineup from the Flying Dutchman.
Granger comes back into the game for Towns.
Towns with a well-deserved break, having one of the best games of his career.
Having more of a complete game offensively, defensively, and in transition. Had a point guard move at the end of the first half. The floater shot is no good by Lewis. And Arshawn Parker will push the floor. Loses control of the basketball, and it's Collins corrals the basketball. Armstrong working on Granger. Battling for position, and he gets it to go with the right hand.
If I'm the Scots, the Britons, excuse me. I apologize to all the Albion fans out there, but if I'm the Britons, I'm giving it to Armstrong every time. I mean, he's shown in the first half that he's going to be the difference maker on the offensive end, and Granger's really struggled defensively against him.
George tries to split the Red Sea, and he can't do it. Basket is no good, rebounded by the Britons. Parker with it now, bottom of the anchor, trying to find somewhere to go. He pulls up, and he can't get it to go. Strong rebound by Jason Dietz. Granger tries to go inside. Awkward move with the right hand, can't get it to go. And Armstrong with the easy layup. And we'll get a timeout from the Britons.
Another 30-second timeout.
A 30-second timeout, like you said, so we'll keep it right here. It's 51-40. It's a 9-point lead. Right now, a league update around the MIAA. Albion sitting at 5-1, 12-5 overall. Shrine at 5-1 as well. Olivet at 5-1 as well. Hope sitting at 3-2. Calvin at 3-3. Alma at 3-3 as well. Adrian and Kalamazoo both residing at the bottom of the MIAA, sitting at 0-6. So essentially, it is a three-way race, four-way. Actually, 4 teams could still win the MIAA. This is going to be a huge win tonight if Hope can keep the foot on the gas and escape DeVos with a W. Big game with Shrine coming up, and then the next week it is the rival Calvin Knights making the long 45-minute trip to DeVos Fieldhouse. Lewis with it now, working on Barnes. Lewis tries to go up with the right hand, can't get it to go. And it's Fordham. And Armstrong working on Ryan Gam. And it's blocked by Gam. Nice pass inside by Tyler George, and he can't finish.
That reverse is a hard shot. You got to angle your shoulders perfectly to get that good angle off the backboard.
A little bit of sloppy play on both ends. Ryan Gam back into the game. Spent the first 3 months of the season on injured reserve with a concussion. Finally comes back. Good to see him making his presence felt right away with a huge block coming to the game for the Dutch. It's Calvin Hackert and the defensive specialist Jake Honer. George will check out of the game, as does Dietz. So on the floor for the Dutch, it's Hackert, Ray, Lewis, Honer, and Ryan Gam. Struggled with my words there for a second. And the foul is going to be on Riley Lewis. His first, team's 6th. 11:49 remaining. Collins at the line shooting 2.
Collins an 80% free throw shooter.
I was an 80% free throw shooter in 2K. Climbing the ranks. The NCAA tournament kicks off Friday, March 1st, preceded by the MIAA tournament Friday through Saturday, February 21st to 23rd. Get your tickets, MIAA.com. Stripped by Hackert. And it's right now base of the anchor. It's Ray with Lewis. Ray puts the ball on the floor, drives up off with the right hand, off the glass, and gets it to go.
Ray showing that he can do it outside the arc, but also inside the paint.
And it is number 5, Winston. Cuts across, and it's Armstrong down low. Working on Ryan Gam. Great defense. And Teddy Ray battles for the rebound. Appreciation by this Dutch crowd. Hackert thinks about it to Ray. Ray to Honer. Hackert from downtown. He can't get to go, just off the mark. And it's Albion ball.
Ref's been kind of lackadaisical on the calls the last couple minutes.
And Barnes slips. Albion bench wanted a foul. Won't get one. Take a look at the replay here. And can't get one to go. Towns back into the game for Gam. Coach Jody May explaining that the call is in the rule book. Good to know for all you basketball aficionados. Ray thinks about it to Honer. Honer to Hackert. 10 minutes and change remaining. Towns working down low on Ebling. Towns is blocked by Fordham.
Great help defense from Fordham.
And it's an offensive foul picked up by Jake Honer. Coming to the game for the Dutch. For the Britons. It's number 12, Dylan Bennett. Great job by Honer getting in position and taking the charge. Not always fun taking the charge at full steam, but so important off in that third phase of the game. 10-10 remaining in this contest, 53-41. Albion hanging around. Hope yet to put the final nail in the coffin.
Ebling back into the game for the Britons. Been a long time since we saw him.
And he's going to need to get going for this Albion team to get back in it. And Lewis can't get it to go. And it's rebounded by Collins. Winston off to the races. Bounce pass inside. Ebling. Fans wanted to travel, won't get one. And like you said, Ebling gets the bucket to go. Coach Mitchell wanted to travel. Took an extra hop and a step. Not exactly legal, but hey, no whistle here. Lewis with it. To Hackert. The lead is 10. Hackert trying to find somewhere to go. finds Towns. Towns, fancy move inside, gets it to go. Not something you see every day. Little in-air adjustment.
Hey, it doesn't have to be pretty as long as it goes in.
55-43. Ebling working on Towns. Goes up with the left hand and gets it to go. We're starting to find his groove. 55-45, it's a 10-point lead. The clock becoming more of a factor. Teddy Ray with it now to Honer. Honer to Ray. Ray from downtown. And he can't get it to go, and he's fouled. So for the second time today, Teddy Ray headed the charity stripe for 3. Granger and Davis will check back into the game for the Dutch.
Collins gets his 3rd foul. Collins and Ebling both have 3 fouls for the Britons. And just Calvin Hackert for the Dutch has 3 fouls.
Hey, uncharacteristic from Ray. He misses the first free throw. 8:38 remaining. He sinks the second. Coming out of the game for the Britons, that is Jalen Fordham. The final shot of 3 coming, and he sinks it. So 8:30 remaining in this contest. Parker drives. Trying to go inside. Up off the glass, and he gets it to go. So the lead is back to 10.
That's a nice drive. Strong left hand.
Lewis tries to go inside, and it's Ray along top of the perimeter. Lewis to Honer. Honer slips, manages to get it out to Davis, who kicks it to Ray. Ray with a trip down easy street and gets it to go. 59-47.
Teddy Ray now is 15. Leading scorer of the game so far.
And Coach Mitchell needed some guys to step up with the absences of the Beckman brothers. Collins says, I'll have a try, and he can't get it to go. Much to the delight of the Hope faithful. It's Lewis who brings it across the timeline.
And that's just a rush shot attempt that you don't really need in this moment. The Britons have struggled. As a nice pass there and good finish by Granger. The Britons have really struggled getting over that 9-10 point kind of hump deficit. They haven't really gotten under 9 points since the early portions of the first half. And so that's going to be kind of their goal in the next couple minutes, is try to get it within 10.
And the Hope crowd can't believe it, but it's a foul on Preston Granger. It's going to be his 3rd, so he's in foul trouble, and Goral comes back into the game, presumably for Granger, but he comes in for Jake Honer. See the replay here. Granger went straight up. Not exactly sure about the call there. 7:08 remaining, 61-47 your score. The Hope women's team's up 56-37 at Albion. 9 minutes remaining in the 4th quarter there, on their way to another road win. Coming to the game for the Britons, it is Quentin Armstrong for Ebling. And SpongeBob theme song resounding from the Dew crew. You can distract them any way you can, I guess. And Goral to Gam. Lewis working inside. Ray kicks to Davis. Davis drives, goes behind the back, finds Gam on top of the perimeter. Lewis thinks about it, tries to create some space, steps back, finds Ray to Davis. 5 seconds on the shot clock. Davis throws the ball into the student section. Still haven't gotten a call yet. And we finally do, and it'll be Britain ball. Coach Mitchell can't believe it.
Interesting call that the ref closest to the ball at that point didn't make the call, but hey, don't know what happened on the baseline. Didn't have a good angle of that, so got to trust the ref's call. Coach Mitch wanted a foul, but such is the game of basketball.
And it's Fordham now. And it's Parker who drives up at the left. Little spin move shot gets it to go. Not one of the most orthodox shots we've seen, but as you said, doesn't have to be pretty.
No. Nice up and under.
6 minutes remaining. Davis goes left. Little acting job from Albion. Can't draw the foul. And he gets the floater to go. 5:50 remaining. Armstrong.
Right elbow far side. Up by 12. Bennett working on Coral. 3-point launch for
Fordham, and he gets the 3 to go. Keeping his team in at 63-54. And it's a 9-point game. Goral with it to Lewis. Lewis to Ray. Ray to Davis. Davis back to Ray to Lewis. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Lewis looking for room to work. Being guarded by Fordham. Lewis stops, pops, shoots. Can't get it to go. Gam tries to go in for the rebound. Wild shot, a rebound attempt is corralled by the Brits. And the runner is good for Fordham. And we'll get a timeout from Coach Greg Mitchell. 63-56, 4:57 remaining.
Take a timeout. We'll be back with more.
And it's a full timeout, so we'll step away. And for the first time this evening, hear from our sponsors, Lords and Vanderswerk. Financial planning done right.
We've intentionally never had minimum account sizes. Our philosophy has always been, if you're willing to put in the work and we'll collaborate and we set the plan in place and you're willing to go along with this plan and to put forth effort to this plan, we're happy to work with you. It's what we love to do. And so we have people coming in from the very starting point all the way to, to the wealthy people. It's all different scenarios. Financial planning is not just for the wealthy.
Welcome back. We want to thank Lawrence and Vanderswerk once again for all they do for us here at Hope College, making this broadcast possible and so many other things around campus and in this community, in the Holland community. We're very thankful for them and the impacts they've made on us, and personally Brejan and I, for allowing us to be here. And I think it's a good time to shout out our crew in the back and all of our friends doing the camera tonight, making the broadcast actually look good. We just sit here and talk, so we have the easiest job out of everyone. So really got to give them mad props for making the live stream look as good as it does.
Steve Secor, Alan Babbitt, Philip Blah, and Matt Roblin, our director-in-chief this evening. 63-56. Here's score as we near 4 minutes remaining. Hope at one point had a 14-point lead. Now it's down to 7, and Albion with the ball. So we talked about Albion being one of those good teams that you can't count out too late, and now they're coming back into this game, and Parker gets it to go. 63-58. Hold on to your seats.
And they've made it underneath that 10-point deficit. So this is going to be a key stop for them and a key offensive take for the Dutch.
Looking inside to Towns. He's had a good game so far. It's Lewis with it to Hacker. Hacker pulls up from 3. That misses everything. But rebound by George. Inside, and Towns gets it to go.
Great job by Tyler George to keep that play alive, coming in on the weak side, rebound into baseline. Did exactly what he was supposed to do there.
Great hustle. Something you love to see from the freshman. 65-58. 7-point lead, 3 minutes and change remaining. Bennett with it now to Fordham. Goes a little high, the crowd can't believe it. And the 3-point attempt is no good. but a clear missed call.
Bergeron, it's been interesting to see this game kind of progress in the first 3 minutes. I think you could agree with me. I thought this was going to be a very tightly called game. The first minute, there was 3 or so fouls. The whistle is being blown every couple seconds, but now in the second half, has not been a lot of fouls called at all.
When they have been called, it is not in the direction of the Flying Dutch. Mitchell unhappy with the officiating crew tonight. 65-58. Coach May telling his players to stay down and be ready. Inbound pass goes Lewis. Lewis pulls up from 3. That shot's off, and he can't get it to go. Battling for the ball, rebounded by Bennett, and May wants the foul. Collins, he gets it to go. 65-61, the lead is 4. 2 minutes and 50 seconds remaining.
That's a big time shot from Collins. He's got 12.
Talking about big time players making big time plays, stepping up in big time situations. Lewis has it now, working on Collins, going back and forth. Lewis drives, but he's fouled on the head to the charity stripe for 2 big shots. And Granger checks back into the game for the Dutch. Take a look at the replay here. Nice job of going high up off the glass, with the ball with 2 hands. Like you mentioned, going up with 2 hands, not just 1. And he draws the foul.
Lewis is the Dutch, Flying Dutchman's best free throw shooter at 96%. And as we mentioned earlier, top 5, if not number 1 or number 2 in the nation in free throw shooting.
So Granger comes in for Tyler George, doing his part as a freshman, being called up, making his presence known. 66-61, it's a 5-point lead. The shot is up and good. 67-61, 2:34 remaining. Carly, for this Albion team, you've been hanging around all evening long. What is your strategy here to try and cut into this lead and escape DeVos with a much-needed win?
I think they've done a great job off the drives, as they've done right there. That's kind of where they've made their comeback. Collins had a couple good threes to help with that deficit, but their drives off the backboard have done a great job and really helped them out offensively.
Yeah, they've had their way inside all evening long. That's Teddy Ray to Lewis. 2 minutes remaining. Hope with the 4-point lead. Lewis finds Towns. Towns with the floater. He gets it to go with a big shot from Dennis Towns. 69-63.
He's got 16 points. And his jumper game is where he's really developed in his repertoire over the last year. He was mostly known in the short corner, but making it known all over the court.
And a foul is called on Granger. Take a look at the replay here. It's Parker who head to the line for some big shots. 69-63, 1 minute and 40 seconds remaining.
Granger's got 4 fouls.
And the first shot is up and good. So it's a 5-point game. Checking to make sure my math is correct.
Definitely not known as math majors on here.
And the shot is no good. And it's rebounded by the Brits, and they get it to go. That's Armstrong with the quick putback. Boxing out is so important, as we hear day in and day out on our broadcast. 69-66. That's a 3-point game. 1 minute and 20 seconds remaining. We need a basket here. Lewis goes behind the back. Tries to find Hacker. Hacker drives, stops, pops, and he gets the runner to go. Calvin Hacker, 71-66. But the lead is back to 5. 1 minute remaining. This crowd coming alive. Big stop needed here. Spin move, and it's stripped and stolen by Lewis, and he's fouled. Listen to this crowd.
Great defense from Lewis.
And Lewis will head to the line for some big free throws. And we'll get a timeout from the Britons. Coach Jody May wants to talk things over. It's going to be a full timeout. We'll step away. Here from our partners Lawrence and Vanderswart.
At Lawrence and Vanderswart, we are interested in the history of our community. This farm once belonged to Albertus Van Raalte, founding father of the city of Holland. And this house, built by his son Ben in 1872, has been known through the years as the Maples, due to the large trees in the front yard planted by Van Raalte himself. These trees stand today because of the industry and vision of Albertus Van Raalte. Today, the DeGraff Nature Center taps the maples and demonstrates how maple syrup was made centuries ago. Innovation and ambition today can pay dividends for decades. Lawrence and Vanderswart, interested in our history, invested in our future.
Back inside DeVos Fieldhouse, Brajon Crispin alongside the one and only Carly Van Swole, 71-66. Your score, 50 ticks remaining. Referee having a conversation with the Albion bench. The last thing you want if you're Albion is to get a technical and give free throws in the ball to Hope. And it's Lewis on the free throw line for some big free throws.
You're the Dutch, you don't want anyone else on the line.
That's a 6-point lead for this Dutch team. The shot is up and good. 73-66, plenty of time left for this Albion team, but they need something quick. Parker brings it across the timeline. Stutter step, drives, looks for someone to go, puts a move on Hacker. Spin move and he gets it to go.
A lot of uncharacteristic shots from the Britons, but in the last couple minutes of the second half really gone their way. Number 10 Parker with 16 points, excuse me.
And it's a full timeout, so we'll step away one more time and hear from Lawrence and Vanderswart.
My 32 years, I can look back at clients and realize that when I started with them in my mid-30s, I was one of many professionals in their life. But since then, their doctors retired, their attorneys retired, their ministers retired, all the key people in their life retired, but we're still there. And over time, we end up being very, very close to our clients. It's very hard to talk about your financial history without talking about your family history. We get to know it, we keep it confidential, and you can't help but begin to love these people.
Welcome back to the nail-biting game between the Hope College Flying Dutchmen and the Albion Britons, 73-68. The Dutch have the lead with 40 seconds left to go. Just saw a little word from our sponsors, Lawrence and Vanderswart. Right before that, number 10, Parker, drove into the lane to make it a 5-point game.
And Hackett will inbound. I don't know what we're waiting on. And we get the whistle to go ahead and play.
I think there was some moisture on the floor.
Full court press, and Lewis is fouled. Exactly the guy you want going to the charity stripe. Big free throws here. So if Hope pulls away with this win, they will improve to 4-2 overall in conference and 11-7 on the season, and Albion will drop to 5-2 overall in conference and 12-6. So Hope pulls this out, they'll be one game out from the division title. And he sinks the first.
And on the women's side of things, the Dutch up 60-49.
15 for Riley Lewis.
And he gets the second to go. Parker with it now. 30 seconds remaining. Little stutter step drive inside. Spins. And he can't get it to go. It's a big rebound. Granger with it. And he's fouled by Armstrong. 75-68. Still time left. Granger can sink these free throws. It should be drive home safely. 26.9 seconds remaining.
Albion come back and close the gap to 63-56.
Granger on the line.
Hope trying to pull away. Granger.
And the first shot is up. Rolls around and drops through.
Preston Granger. 4 in double figures on the night for Hope College. Sophomore
And the shot is up and good. 25 seconds remaining. 77-68. Shot clock turned off. Parker trying to make something happen. Parker goes inside to Armstrong. Armstrong gets it to go. So 14.9 seconds remaining. 77-70. And it's a full timeout. We'll step away one more time and hear from Lawrence at Vandersworth.
At Lawrence at Vanderswart, we are interested in the history of our community. In 1851, Holland's founder Albertus Van Raalte wanted to establish a secondary school where students could get the best education with an emphasis on Christian character. Originally called Pioneer School, Van Raalte set up classes in an orphanage on 12th Street. By 1857, the new Van Vleck Hall was completed. It provided classrooms, a library, and housing for 10 students along with the school principal. In 1862, the school was renamed Hope College, and the first graduating class received their diplomas in the spring of 1866. Innovation and ambition today can pay dividends for decades. Lawrence and Vanderswart, interested in our history, invested in our future.
Back inside DeVos Fieldhouse, 14.9 seconds remaining on the clock. Shot clock is turned off. It'll be Calvin Hackett to inbound. 77-70, the Dutchman lead. Hackett inbounds, finds Lewis. And Albion not fouling. They're content to let him dribble this thing out. And the Hope faithful rises to their feet. So as the clock hits zeros, Hope advances to 4-2 overall in conference, 11-7 overall. Albion drops to 5-2 and 12-6 overall. 77-70, your final score. Brajan Crispin alongside Carly Van Swol. Join us Saturday at 3 p.m. as Hope hosts Trine, which should be an anticipated matchup as we get down to tournament play. Thank you, everybody, to our executive producing team, Matt Roblin, Steve C. Core, Alan Babber, and the rest of the crew. Thank you and good night.